You are sitting in the midst of an answered prayer right now, and with this energy of listen. Now is the time to listen. It feels like a lot of you are being guided to simply sit in the space of stillness. Learn to be very present in this moment now, not with a sense of urgency, needing to do anything, needing to clear anything away, needing to charge forth towards anything, but just to take some time to allow your senses to acclimate to the fact that you have closed out a major cycle, you've created a breakthrough for yourself, you have accelerated your own progress along a path towards wish fulfillment, abundance, happiness, and you have up-leveled so substantially that there's almost like a space of time, like a little window of opportunity before life speeds up, before things start to get really exciting, before certain things that are the physical manifestation of that answered prayer arrive into your material reality, where it's almost like you've reached this place ahead of schedule, although you are right on time. And there's this opportunity here to just sit within this stillness, sit within this silence, and really enjoy the moment. For some of you, this has been a very long cycle, a very long experience for something that you have broken free from, or that you are striving towards, and you have created that sense of alignment within yourself, energetically, emotionally, steps that you've taken forward actually. And although it's like you may look around and think, well, I'm not at that destination, I don't have everything that I want like here in front of me, you are in that place where, whether you know it or not, even though there may be action steps to take at this point, you are in receiver mode. You are in receptive mode. Gender aside, this is profound feminine energy. And so it's almost like a little added bonus or a gift that you have given yourself, that the universe has given you. This moment of pause, this moment of reflection, where there is a lot that is actually happening that you cannot see. Again, things getting ready to materialize for you, to be within reach, to be in your grasp, things that'll just fall in your lap or will come to you very easily, that will help you to recognize, that the season of kind of like pushing against gravity, going against the flow, going against the grain, working up the courage to break free from certain chains, certain cycles in your life, or efforts that you've needed to do to progress forward. That this is something that it feels like you've actually accomplished a lot more than you recognize, because for as difficult as things have been up to this point in time, it's about to get very easy for you. Like life played on easy mode at this particular point in time, which it feels like it's going to give you perspective on the importance of this opportunity. This is almost like the moment of celebration, but it may feel like a pre-celebration almost. A part of you that you're encouraged to have compassion for, that may be almost like your nervous system stuck on that energy of like, I gotta be busy, I gotta keep going, I still have so much to do in order to accomplish what I want, or to be in kind of the right circumstances, to be living that dream life of mine out loud and in a realistic way. But there's a sense of like you're just opening your eyes to the reality that so much has changed for you. You have already created that change for yourself, and so this moment is a gift. Rather than fretting, rather than kind of like looking around and trying to busy yourself, it feels like your biggest task at this point in time is just to sort of like cultivate that stillness. Your biggest task at this particular point in time is to, start to almost kind of like get in the mode of things will be going your way in an easier fashion than has been the case up to now. So whether you know that or not, this is like a big transition for a lot of you that have needed to like work very hard. You may still have hard work in front of you, but it's almost like you've recalibrated something based on decisions that you've made or efforts that you put forth up to this point in time, where the ability to kind of manifest for yourself or create substantial progress forward in your life, it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to require a lot less effort, a lot less clearing away of things that do not serve you in such a like a hard or a difficult way. Aspects of certain things where you've been clinging, it's like you're being dragged along until you had no choice but to let go. All of that is kind of behind you. And so in the years of your life to come, like the seasons of your life to come, this window of time, it feels like, is going to be something that you're going to look back on, and you're going to recognize this is the moment when everything changed, when you really had that breakthrough within yourself, and sort of standing in the midst of that sort of newness of a transition for yourself, standing in the midst of kind of like you are in the middle of your abundance, and the only thing you need to do is stand with your hands open, your mind open, your heart open, your energy open, is what you are seeking is coming to you. It's materializing. It is manifesting. You have done the work. You've met the universe more than halfway. You fulfilled your part of the bargain or the obligation as far as like putting forth a lot of that kind of groundwork in order to get yourself to this particular point in your timeline, or any changes that you needed to make in your life in general. All of this, it feels like, is something that is going to kind of transform the way in which you manifest moving forward. It's a mechanism that you have fine-tuned or even like created inside of yourself, that beyond this kind of next experience of things coming into being that are very fulfilling, or that wish fulfillment, those goals that you've been reaching for, those dreams coming true, this is going to be something that process of continuing to make shifts for yourself, continuing to like move in new and better directions, it's going to come a lot easier than whatever the process up to this point in time has looked like, where you've needed to like shed your skin, you've needed to like shed a layer of yourself, you needed to go through that process of kind of releasing things and people and energies and mindsets that were kind of in opposition to the full essence or the vibration of what your intuitive self, your higher self, even like future versions of yourself with this energy of listen, were trying to kind of whisper to you, call your attention to, sort of nudge you in the direction of, so that you're not kind of like chasing or seeking or grabbing at your manifestations. You're not waiting in vain, but it's a process of kind of like aligning with those things. You've reached that place of alignment within. And so, by sitting and kind of listening to the stillness, listening to the silence in a non-judgmental way, it's like you're going to start to hear the first little kind of echoes of what it is that you want rapidly approaching you. You're going to start to look around and like perceive the world around you in a different way than you have up to this point in time. And it's kind of like you've done all of this change within yourself, and so now the world around you is also changing in a corresponding way. We also have lean into your abundance. Be proud. You earned it. So it feels like this is something where the rewards that are coming, the rewards you're about to reap for, all of this kind of like effort that you put in, hard choices that you've needed to make, painful cycles, that might have been very difficult to close out, and you may still feel like you're in the process of walking through those things. You are stepping almost immediately into like a windfall of abundance. For some of you, that is material. That's like, money or, prosperity in that sense. But it feels like for a lot of you, this is sort of like a deep sense of peace of mind that just becomes an open invitation for all other things to follow. Improvement in your interpersonal relationships, in your relationship with yourself, and your ability to kind of, capitalize upon certain resources that are already available to you, ways in which, your perceptions will be clearer, and you're able to make more determined and decisive decisions as far as directions to move forth, that'll sort of fast track you in the direction of, greater material prosperity, deeper fulfillment as far as loving relationships, platonic relationships are concerned. It's almost kind of like, actively in the process of embodying that best life. This is, the season where that has happened. And so every step that you take forward, it feels like, there's going to be challenges along the way, because that's just life. But the more that you continue to kind of keep your sights set on the horizon and look around you for sort of like hidden or obscured kind of opportunities, even kind of like moments of stillness, that being something where you're cashing in on a reward right there. The opportunity to just sort of sit in the moment, let yourself be very present in the experience of now, which is kind of like the proper frequency to tune into for that bit of guidance inside of you, your intuition or something externally that kind of points you in a new direction to beckon you forth, where it will be most like effective, where your energy, your efforts, and your desires will be most effectively applied towards, in order to, again, kind of like align with that energy of prosperity in an overarching sense for yourself. So it's not just limited to one thing. Like if you've been trying to make improvements in your career, you've been trying to manifest in love, it's kind of like these things arrive, but then it has this ripple effect on many other areas of your life as well. It's like a season of abundance, and not just something that is very short lived. It's kind of like the opposite of sort of a short lived season where there's a bit of stillness, and then you're stepping into kind of like reward after reward, kind of like opportunity after opportunity, abundant occurrence after abundant occurrence. It's multiplying because you have put in such effort. You've put your full faith and trust in the process. You've been very disciplined with yourself in terms of cutting out distractions or becoming very laser focused on the things that you are wanting, the things that you are seeking. Even kind of like honing that belief inside of yourself that although you may not currently be living that sort of desired reality, or the results you're wanting are not sort of seen by you materially at this point in time, that you're aligning, kind of like law of assumption, you're aligning with that kind of like paradigm or that timeline or that pathway that doesn't accept any sort of reality as a permanent place within yourself, or within your experience, until you reach that almost kind of like the right situation, the right person, the right relationship, like knowing and believing that that is the direction you are headed towards, even in the midst of having to filter through things that aren't quite the right fit, or are sort of creating that kind of dissonance within the belief within yourself. We also have the power you seek is within your hands, soul, and mind. Use it and watch what you create. Yeah, so you are about to be very surprised at the way that it's not just wish fulfillment in one way, one aspect, one thing that you've been working towards, you've been trying to call in. It's kind of like that arrives, and then you look around and there are so many other open doors of opportunity for you. Anything that you've had to walk away from, where it's taken a lot of courage to do that, or maybe you were left with no other choice, you had to like choose yourself and move forward, you're going to see very quickly that it wasn't a loss. This was something that wasn't in alignment with you, or it had kind of like run its course. It aligned with like a previous version of yourself, and there's a much more exciting future that awaits you, that exists on the other side of this arduous process that you've been through, maybe wrestling with certain kind of like tendencies inside of yourself, or external things that you needed to kind of like move through or navigate around, that have caused you to almost like shed your skin, shed a version of yourself, shed a certain frequency inside. And although this period of time, it may feel very like vulnerable, very exposed, very like, okay, I'm trust falling in the direction, of something better for myself, and I'm putting blind trust and faith in the universe to catch me and to kind of like steer me forth in a better direction. All of this is something that feels like that, the rewards of that, the evidence of that, the experience of that, it is coming to you. It is coming into a place of becoming all around you, at this very moment in time, and continuing forward. This is a crucial moment where you've placed your trust in the universe, and the universe recognizes that and is getting ready to deliver to you in such a profound way that, again, the ways in which you manifest moving forward are going to be forever changed, not just in this lifetime, but it's the idea of like forever, future incarnations even. This is a singular moment that is almost being like recorded or registered within your soul, so that as you journey forth for the duration of this lifetime and in lifetimes to come, this is almost kind of like an experiment that has gone right for you, something different than what kind of like a karmic pattern had been, an ancestral pattern had been, what your personality had kind of, been most comfortable with in terms of like how you'd strive for goals, how you'd been living your life, maybe living very unconsciously for a while. And you're in a state of more wakefulness at this particular point in time. You're operating in a more mindful capacity, using wisdom from past mistakes or lessons to your advantage as like a tool to sort of better yourself. And all of that is going to pay off very richly in the here and now, but it's also something that you are able to carry forth as kind of like a soul memory, a thing that just becomes sort of like embedded within what will continue to be sort of the evolution of your intuition in this lifetime and in lifetimes to come. So this is like a really big moment. It's a really big moment of celebration for yourself, because although again you may look around and there's just stillness, there's kind of like, I've done everything that I could, I don't know what more that I can do. Just relax, just sit in that receptive mode, look around, take a moment to sort of see this place where there's like not so much left to do, or it may feel like things are very far out of reach. You have to kind of like wait on the timing of certain things to unfold. There is a gift within this moment of stillness. There is gift within this space right here and now, where you are able to really come into the full essence of who you have become in order to align with kind of like this next level of your life. The abundance that you are stepping into has required a new version of yourself. You have done that heavy lifting so far, very beautifully and very precisely. And so there's almost something that if you're going to direct your sights towards anything, it needs to be done internally speaking. And you will notice that you have evolved. You've gone through a transformation. You have forced an evolution upon yourself, or maybe even in response to circumstances that gave you no choice but to kind of evolve or to crumble. And so this is a time to really congratulate yourself for that, to start to kind of view your life not from the lens that had kind of like brought you up to this point, but the fact that you have sort of refined, or fashioned that into something different. As you take steps forward, as those doors of opportunity present themselves, they open on command, they open with just a thought, or they are already open and waiting to receive you into new circumstances, new rooms that will value you in ways that previous rooms did not. Abundance is just like falls in your lap. It comes to you very effortlessly. This is not a time where you're having to force things in such a way that you did before, or even force yourself to, accept that certain things only were in your life, or, aligned with your path to kind of like teach you the art of detachment. You've graduated from that level of your like earth experience, your human experience, even kind of like your soul's journey, up to this point in time. And so this is a big season of rewards that you're getting ready to step into, that it feels like is going to change kind of the tone and the texture of what your life looks like moving forward. But then it's also something that is a mechanism. It's a gift. It'll be something that you kind of bring forth as a beautiful memory, as a skill that is kind of able to, sort of create open opportunities for you as well in lifetimes to come. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.